Welcome back. It's the frustrated JG here. I just finished recording a video where I won this battle and went through a whole bunch of story and got to a saving point and saved. Then when I went to hit stop in Rec Central, it caused my PC to crash. When it came back, the video was there. It was the right file size to be a video, but it can't be opened by any application. It's shown as corrupted. And it's really frustrating. The one thing that my old PC had, AverMedia was not what was crashing my old PC. Because the one thing that was pretty consistent, if the PC just crashed when I came back, whatever I had recorded up to the point when it crashed was there. This new I don't know. But the other thing, now I feel like a bit of a goof too, because 2 videos ago, I pieced something together from other people's footage to show you plot stuff. This time I went in and yeah, I mean, as long as I'm manually saving periodically, I can go back and find I can pull up an old save. I'm not stuck with the autosave. So now I feel silly that I even pieced together a video last time instead of just doing a video, but whatever. I need to redo this fight that I just won, so that'll be annoying. I'm just annoyed with this. I'm annoyed. I dropped a bunch of money on this new computer, and I'm still having all sorts of problems. Anyway, I don't know. So I had a save where we're still fighting the mysterious man. What I don't really know is if we've beaten him, if we have to beat him one more time, or if we haven't beaten him at all yet. Because it took a little bit of time to fight him. And I went with a save where I was pretty sure we're still fighting him, but I feel like I got to beat him several times. Progress that we had made in the last video is gone. It's not really going to be reliable whether we still have to beat him more, honestly. Don't rely on this video to tell you how many times you have to beat his little squad to advance, because things are messed up. There he is, anyway. I want to make sure I defeat him, and then see, do I need to fight his whole squad now that I beat him? Or is he not down? He should be down. I shot him 100 times. Looks like I got to beat his whole squad, even if I already beat him. Unless I see him back, in which case I didn't finish him off. One more heading this way. Headshots do it faster. I have this temporary I'm having a weird mental whatever, and then you hop back.
We need reinforcements.
So they don't stay gone long. It's just a matter of, did you get to the... you kind of got to find them. They don't seem to be very efficient at hunting you. Maybe they're better if you make lots of noise. I don't know. But off screen,
I was horrible. Fight.
Is that so? Now I have no idea what jokes I made 2 videos ago, which you will have heard, and what I might have quipped last time, which you will never see, because it was consumed by the crash. But I think I did, he said, I want my BB back so many freaking times. And I was doing the whole Chili's baby back ribs thing a million freaking times. And eventually I decided, this seems intentional. I believe they're trying to get... they did that I want my BB back so many times. It's it has to be. They're trying to get a meme going of people making fun of that dialogue. Because there's just no way. And then I started thinking, well, JG, maybe instead of making fun of the game for repeating dialogue, the real issue is that you're taking too long to beat this scenario. And then I thought, nope, he's just constantly saying, I want my BB back. I don't care how efficient you are. He's going to get I want my BB back in several times before you can clear this thing. Fortunately, I was on my way over there to get a new Whoppet. Bullet time would really be helpful here. See, jerk hits me with a rocket attack, and suddenly, just because a bazooka exploded nearby, I'm not allowed to carry all my stuff. It's a shot. I guess if I brush in where brave men fear tread, I'll be fine. Beep 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 beep. Yeah. Now I can't get out of this stuff. That's okay because I won that little exchange.
We need reinforcements.
So again, I have no idea how many times I have to beat him. I don't know if I've already beaten him once or twice, or if I'm starting completely from the beginning. So even after I defeat him here, we're not really going to know how many times you're supposed to beat him, because I'm kind of not sure where we picked up from. But he wants his BB back. I know that. There's not a whole lot that I know for sure, but he wants his BB back. Shotgun with sniper precision here. Because what I really need to do is get a new assault rifle. Which I'm on my way to do. I missed him like 800 times there.
I need backup.
Okay, it causes the nightmare headaches. Now, I thought there were more guys around. Not always clear on... It seems inconsistent. I'm sure I'm doing something different and not recognizing it, but it seems like sometimes you have to beat all of them. Sometimes you just need to beat him. But we instantly get all our blood back when we eat one of those crypto buyouts, so that is pretty handy. Just eating crypto buyouts as often as you need to, finding more ammo, or more guns, and just being offensive makes this go faster. I don't think I'm going to get a great score if I keep running in and taking hits, but being stealthy hasn't helped that much. As soon as you attack one, the rest come for you. I guess there is stealth kill mechanic in this game, but I never bothered really getting good at it because it involved like friggin' sneaking up on BTs in great numbers. Have they spotted me now? Yeah, they have. Okay. Ow! I hate when they do that. I got so much shit to recover now. Not to mention I've lost a lot of blood from getting hit with lots of rockets. Luckily they don't seem to be... Now he's finally charging, but... pick my stuff back up. I don't want to get kicked out of here and back into the story when I haven't picked up my stuff. Okay, here's Mads Mikkelsen. I think I just perma one? Yeah, okay. Not sure if I started over at the beginning or not, but anyway, so I won again. You didn't see it the first time. I got a B the first time, which seems like a pretty low grade, but I spent a lot of time wandering around trying to find them, whereas that time I just kind of stuck around in the areas where they usually spawn, and it was much faster. So I'm expecting to get a better score here, but then again, I also got hit with a couple of bazooka rounds, so who knows. Anyway, here's Mads Mikkelsen. I got so much taco sauce. I gotta weep here. It's
put you in that prison.
Wait, you put BB in prison? Okay, that seems like kind of a dick move. But at least now we can finally connect and talk, and we're finally going to find out what his deal is. Which is approximately what I was saying before, even though now I know that this is about to happen. So I'm like, I'm same reaction I had the first time, was just like, wait, what? Like, why did we fight you for 100 years? I thought we were finally going to find out what your deal is with dialogue. Oh, but we ripped off his dog tag. 149 more of those, and we'll get a special wig for the tanker chapter so we can have infinite ammo. I'm so full of emotions and tar. I just need to cry it out, man. Sunglasses really help in this scene, by the way. Hold me closer, Mads Mikkelsen. So he is either drunk or he's been shot here because he's really having some mobility issues. So there's I thought he was saying, in here, come in here and help me, but no. Okay. So I guess he's breaking BB out of a prison he had put BB in? I'm not sure what's going on. Either way, our client, Deadman, gave us 130 likes. Oh, even more. I think I got slightly more likes this time. I traveled around a little bit less. Still used a ridiculous amount of blood and got the same score, yeah, so. B is the second worst score you can get, so that shows you how good I was at that battle. But, I mean, we got through. That's kind of the main thing. We are now a legend ×4, so whatever. Whatever that means. Cargo positioning, that's the thing that you can worry about. Unless you're in some kind of hell World War II flashback murder dimension, in which case it suddenly doesn't seem that significant anymore. Just checking while we're on the loading screen. The video, the recording software is tracking right along. Everything's going fine, but like I said last time, I had a complete video, everything looked perfect, and as soon as I hit stop recording, Windows crashed. So we'll see. This game, I had some little desync issues with Legend of Mana. Everything seems fine in Yakuza. Everything's fine in Neo. There's no reason. It's recording game footage. It shouldn't make any difference which game I'm playing, but it really doesn't like this one. Oh, and now there's tall grass. Well, that's super useful, I'm sure. I at one point had, in my previous video, like one piece of armor on my left shoulder for some reason. But here we are. Best part of waking up is checking to see if BB exists. Lou. So Lou is actually the baby. I thought Lou was dead, man. Oh my god, it's a nightmare and we're about to wake up. Which I called also the first time. And then I was like, I'm not saying I'm some super genius for seeing through that, but we've already had you wake up and dream that you check BB and something weird happens, so it's not that shocking. It's not that big a surprise when it happens here, I guess we're gonna... Lou! Hey, Lou!
No response.
I didn't say that either time.
Well, look at that. That child's taking a shine to me.
I really am a better person than you, Sam, and he can tell.
You two were out cold, so I had you brought here.
by the army of BTs that work
You
for
were
you?
right.
Who did
Whatever you
this?
did back there returned us to our own world.
A whole new world. Don't you dare close your
I
eyes,
put your
Sam.
cargo and gear in your private box. You
Correct,
slept for a
that's
whole
it.
day, you know. Slept like the dead.
Which I believe in the last video, which has been lost to time, I stopped here to point out, yeah, like I'm starting radiation therapy tomorrow. That's supposed to make you really tired. But on the last day before I'm fighting this, I slept till almost noon. I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning with like weird nasal congestion. I had like get up and walk around and drain my sinuses and went back to sleep. I ended up sleeping until like after 11. It was ridiculous. So I got like over 10 hours of sleep and then got up and had like a late lunch that was huge. So I had like a big food coma at like 3:30, 4 o'clock p.m., which I kind of shook off with a bunch of overly sweetened coffee drinks I'd picked up at Starbucks. I'm having the laziest day ever. Uh, and I'm pausing to interrupt this because I'm about to start therapies that are going to make me tired and like have no energy. And today I'm just completely a day of just like not doing shit. Like I went out to get drive-through Starbucks while my DoorDash was being prepared. And that is the extent to what I have done today, other than try to play Death Stranding with mixed success. Playing with mixed success and recording with mixed success as well.
I'm
Well,
already back in Capital
Oh,
Dock.
natural gesture, Sam.
Fragile's beach has been coming in handy.
Well, for you, I barely get to use it because I always have cargo.
Sam, I owe you an apology.
I shouldn't have touched you that way
Lou
in the
was
shower.
the name you were going to give your own baby if he'd had made it. I should
Okay.
have pieced it together sooner.
Well, I would have pieced it
Don't know
together
what
if we
you're
had any
talking about.
clues. Is there reference to Sam having once had a
I
baby
found some
that didn't
records
make
from
it?
10 years ago. A death, sudden, in the middle of a town. Young woman in the prime of her life. Nobody knew until it was too late. A boy down.
Let me provide an exposition,
Her
dog.
husband, who was a member of Bridges, had dooms.
Sound familiar, Sam?
But he couldn't get to her in time. The whole town was wiped off the map, leaving nothing but a big crater and him. Because he was a repatriate.
Or a repatriate. A
wanted
repatriate. It's
answers.
like a new version
Did the
of
man hide
Patriots.
his wife's body on purpose? The only survivor
Is he one
was
of the
the only
Patriots?
suspect. He was easy to blame, and people did.
He was like he was some kind of lesbian
pretty
immigrant.
soon,
Put all of your
They were
problems down
blaming
on
Bridges
them.
too. The man felt responsible, so he left. And his wife, who died, her name was Lucy.
Oh, so her name is also a sitcom reference. Is it going to turn out that the father, the husband isn't really Sam Porter Bridges? The baby is Lou, which is a Mary Tyler Moore Show reference as far as like I've just decided it is. The wife's name was Lucy. Hey, Lucy, you got some explaining to do. So obviously, the husband, Sam Porter Bridges' true name before he changed it to hide his past, is Dick Van Dyke. His real name is Dick Van Dyke, as we were about to find out.
She'd been pregnant, poor woman.
No worse fate than giving birth to a child
They
for
were
a
going
woman.
to name their son Lou.
Lou Ferrigno,
Didn't
inexplicably.
happen. But it did. President Strand told me.
See, I told you I was not really here anymore.
She talked about you all the time.
Wouldn't shut up about it. Got on my
You didn't have
nerves.
to cut all ties and walk away, she said.
What a
You will shut
bastard.
the
She said.
fuck up?
Calm down, Sam. Take a seat.
Okay, now I distinctly remember pausing here for a long interlude, which I'll try to keep shorter. Here's the problem with this scene. All right, so we, the game, the player. Oh, and I remember doing a long speech too, while like my it felt like 8 hours. The boss fight. I did it much faster this time, even if the grade was still shit. Yeah, like I am legitimately interested in what is going to turn out as causing the Death Stranding. Is that going to get explained? What is the deal with weird World War II man? Eventually we're going to figure this out. It's interesting to me. I have a feeling that when we get the answers, they'll be convoluted and ridiculous and inane and annoying. But while we're waiting for these mysteries to be uncovered, I'm still kind of into it. And it's kind of a way that you could watch the first 2 or 3 seasons of Lost before deciding whatever the final answer to all this is going to be a bunch of bullshit, which it was. Yeah, so in that way, I'm into this game. What's happening here that's kind of problematic is, as the player character, we don't know this stuff about Sam. So this is new information to us. And even though it feels, when we never, we don't have any flashbacks of the wife, it's just a big plot exposition scene, that makes it difficult to connect with emotionally. It doesn't feel real. It feels like just a tacked on explanation. It's more than we ever got for Solid Snake. We spent a lot of time with Solid Snake. But even from jump, he's just kind of gruff and doesn't seem to like people very much, and resents having to soldier, but it's the only thing he's good at. He's not like Ajax where he likes to go out there and flex. He's good at soldier, but he doesn't enjoy it. But like here, yeah, Sam Porter Bridge is very similar on the surface to Solid Snake, just kind of grouchy and grumbly, and seems to be the only one who can actually accomplish anything. But like finding out that, okay, he has this weird condition where he can go back and get people from the other side, but he wasn't able to. This thing where his wife died in a void out. Like, we still don't know the exact circumstances, but the idea that he became persona non grata because of something that happened that was already emotionally painful to him even before it turned him into a pariah. All that makes sense. It's good we're finding out about it, but that's because we're the player. Sam already knows this. This is just some dude like presenting a bunch of tragedy from his past to him in narrative format for no reason. So of course he's like, you want to shut the fuck up? It's like, if somebody came up to you, he's like, hey, I just found out something really interesting about you. I didn't know. And then they start to recite the most terrible thing and most painful memories of your life that you don't like talking about. And then just start rattling them off like, hey, isn't it interesting that I know this? Aren't I informed? So yeah, this would be kind of annoying for Sam. I'll try not to go into a big long, but yeah, the other thing I went into a big long thing about was like, yeah, in movies, like, you usually have a viewpoint character and we feel connected to them, but it's often clunky when exposition is dropped. One character tells another character something both characters already know because the audience doesn't know it. It can be even clunkier in video games, where the tendency to just get really involved with one character as your viewpoint is stronger because you're actually literally controlling their movements. There are movies like Citizen Kane. One of the things that people find so fascinating about that movie is that the main character is dead from the very beginning, and we find out all about Charles Foster Kane's life, but the actual viewpoint character is a reporter that great pains are gone to make sure that we never find out anything about them, so that we're just constantly getting information on Charles Foster Kane, who is an enigma to us and the viewpoint character, blah, blah, blah. There's not a lot of video games that are able to do that. Video games are usually just like, here's the person you're controlling all the time. That's the person you're going to feel connected to emotionally. You got like Grand Theft Auto 5, as you jumping around between protagonists and stuff. And obviously some video games you're not really playing as a character. You could be playing as an entire force in a strategy game or whatnot. But yeah, it's pretty usual in video games that you are the character. So info dumps like this, where you suddenly find out all this stuff about the backstory of someone who you'd kind of been already living in their head, pretty clunky. Apparently it has a point, though, unlike me stalling for time. I'm trying to make sure that the video ends at about the same point that the last one did. But yeah, apparently this has a point, because he's telling Sam, calm down, take a seat. Like, I'm going to continue to lecture you, but this is going somewhere. Not like, take a seat, Sam. I'm not telling you things you already know that are painful for you to hear about. For some reason we listen. Anyway, that was the biggest, longest speech I'll be making.
I told you before about my body. 70% harvested from cadavers.
Wait, did he tell us that?
Do you want to know the real reason why?
Why is this body made of cadavers?
The story you've heard is one I made up.
Okay, so whatever story I've forgotten isn't true anyway, so I don't have to worry about it.
The truth is, I'm Frankenstein's monster.
Flame bad, Sam. Flame bad. Fire bad.
Born from pluripotent stem cells.
Why?
And when that vital spark didn't manifest in all my organs,
who did that and
they
why?
replaced the defective ones with those of the dead.
Okay, why did they do that and who did that?
Birthday.
Why didn't you have a birthday?
Soulless.
Wait a minute. If you were brought to life from artificial parts, isn't the first day you were alive your birthday? What the fuck?
Soulless meat puppet. No ka. A dead man.
I have no kai, no spirit. I cannot form a kamehameha.
People born the traditional way have beaches. You have one. BB too.
But I was never born.
But I have no such connections. No mother. No afterlife, no beach.
I never even went through the birth canal,
You
not
see
once,
now
not
why
even the
I'm
other
so
way.
obsessed with it all? Why I joined Bridges?
Well, I guess now it explains why he has Frankenstein. Like, had I completely failed to notice that he has like
was an
stitches
awful
all across his
place.
forehead, or has he been lobotomized
But
since the last
strangely,
time we
I didn't
talked to him?
hate it, because I knew you were coming for me.
You come up for me,
Never
Sam.
felt that before. Connected to someone, anyone.
Even a weirdo like you.
You didn't have to cut all ties and walk away.
Even I,
The
Frankenstein, know
president
that.
was right about that much.
Wasn't anything to walk away from. It's not like I was ever welcome there.
Come on, even I was welcome.
And I'm an overweight, chubby Frankenstein monster.
Oh, that.
Literally.
You were holding it.
I was holding
It's
all these
an old
beers.
dog tag, U.S. issue. Wasn't easy prying it
Stupid
out of your
tattoos
hand.
written on our hands here.
Clifford Unger, as you can see.
The big red dog.
I looked him up in our database.
He built a
Found
Death
a
Star.
match.
He once beat
He was U.S.
James
Army
Bond's
Special Forces.
testicles with a rope.
Fought in Kosovo, Iraq, Afghanistan.
Alderaan.
That's him.
What's that? I guess he wouldn't have fought on Alderaan.
Well,
Never.
that's all I've managed to dig
It's the
up
first
so
Star
far.
Wars place name that came to mind.
You must be caked in chiral matter from the battlefield.
Either that or that's just your natural
Time
funk.
for a shower, I'd say.
Oh, you can join me?
Oh, I won't be joining you this time.
Oh, and then I'm
The
not
Die
taking...
Hardman issue is no longer a concern.
I've had him dealt with.
I've seen to it that our conversations won't be recorded.
How? You want to explain anything of this? No? Okay. Is Die Hard Man still like we're waiting for him to turn out to be evil, or what's going on? Cover request, dead man stuff. So he does this pose, like he's pointing at the mirror. I went to the mirror, that didn't seem to do anything. So I don't know. Check on Lou. Well, we're not calling him BB now. He's got a name. We can take a shower. That's what's actually going to cause things to advance. But this did seem, and I was just a little bit later hitting it. This did seem like a good stopping point, so we're going to try to stop here. And when we come back next time, I can't wait for Bobo. I probably have to just read a bunch of background shit because we're really going to fall behind on it. So, yeah, a little annoyed that I had to redo that whole video, but if it takes, I guess I'm just going to take it and move on, because I really just feel like I'm constantly at risk of Death Stranding just collapsing as a Let's Play, because it really doesn't seem to be getting along. It's the one that I kept trying to play with Bobo, where the computer was crashing even more than usual. Like, the computer finally died. I believe I was trying to record Death Stranding, but it was the sessions trying to record together with Bobo where it seemed to start collapsing the most. So there is something about Death Stranding and recording. It doesn't like it. That being said, we're going to call it a video here. We found out some interesting stuff about Mads Mikkelsen, about our own past, and some really interesting stuff which might never go anywhere about Deadman, who's apparently a Frankenstein monster literally made of reanimated corpses by parties undisclosed for undisclosed reasons. So I hope you'll join me next time. I'm hoping this video takes. I'm hoping things don't explode here when I try to stop recording. And I hope you'll join me next time for more Frankenstein madness.